Right now, my main focus is cleaning out the refrigerator, the pantry, and cooking up vegetables. I am a flexitarian. The main entree for me is vegetable based, and then the meat is a side. My husband, he feels just the opposite. Like most people, the meat, he considers the meat the main entree. There's a lot of vegetables from the garden that I need to cook up. Let's do it. I already have some sweet potatoes that I cut into medium-sized pieces. I have a pepper that's starting to go bad, so I need to cut that. And I'm going to try roasted radishes. We're going to roast up some vegetables. I'm just going to drizzle a little bit of olive oil, mix that in, garlic, salt. If I had garlic cloves, I'd use them, and pepper. Mix that up. Make sure all the vegetables are coated in the avocado oil. Then spread evenly onto the parchment-lined baking sheet. That is beautiful. That is so beautiful. This would be my main entree. And then if we had sausage, for example, Italian sausage or something, I would have a small amount, maybe half an Italian sausage, where my husband would have a whole Italian sausage and very little vegetables. But I think vegetables are very important and very healthy and good for you with all the vitamins they contain. Place into preheated oven at 400 Fahrenheit for about 20 minutes. Now we have a pan with vegetable scraps that I'm going to turn into vegetable broth. This is just like onion peels, the part of the broccoli that you usually don't eat, bits and pieces of different vegetables. Or when you chop it up, like the peelings, like radish, the end of the radish, and carrot. Now I cooked the vegetable scraps long enough. I'm going to strain them through a colander into a bowl. And we have our broth. Broth is vegetable broth. Now I'm using up some eggs that are getting old. We need to use up and make it an omelet. 3.5 egg omelet. We're going to use ham and mozzarella cheese for this omelet. I already put salt in with the eggs. I just put a little pepper. And let's flip this over. And we will divide this between my husband and I and flip it over again. And here's my husband's breakfast plate. Omelet with roasted vegetables. My plate, which is more of a flexitarian meal, because I have very little meat. It's mostly egg and cheese with the omelet, and a very small portion of omelet, but mostly I have roasted vegetables on this plate, as you can see. Here we have some leftover chicken broth from canned chicken that I didn't want to throw out. I don't want to waste it. Chicken and noodles. So I'll put 4 cups of water, then I'm going to add the bouillon. I'm going to add just a little bit of apple cider vinegar, a little salt, pepper, and garlic powder. We're going to cook the noodles. The chicken will be added later. I'm going to puree these vegetables. I don't want to waste them. They're clean, they're perfectly edible, lots of onion flavor and broccoli going on there. Put them in the food processor. We'll see how well they puree down. But we need to add liquid and flavor to these. So I'm going to add garlic powder, salt, pepper, lemon juice, and avocado oil. The pureed vegetables actually resemble hummus or garbanzo bean dip. Now I have some sour cream I need to use up. I'm going to combine these together. The sour cream is mixed very well with the vegetable puree. I added a little Lowry's for extra seasoning. So you just kind of play around with it and add whatever you can according to your taste. This is going to be our dip for this weekend, for Halloween weekend. Here's my husband's noodles with chicken broth. All you have to do is add some pieces of chicken, like if you have a rotisserie chicken, canned chicken, or whatever someone in your family might be cooking on the grill, which is what happened to me when my husband came back from Giant Eagle. He went straight to the grill. These are chicken cheese kebabs. So you know what I'm going to do with part of that chicken. I'm going to cut it up finely in little pieces and add it to the chicken noodle soup. And here we have 2 pieces of chicken kebab that I cut up to put into the soup. Now I'm just going to finish off the chicken and noodles by shredding a carrot and chopping up a scallion. And you see the liquid? Well, this happens all the time. It's not soup anymore. I could add more liquid and make it more of a soup, but either way is fine. It will be eaten in a bowl nevertheless, because there's enough liquid there where it has to be in a bowl. So I shredded my carrot. I'm just going to chop up some scallion. Now I prefer fresh parsley from the garden. That's what I would prefer in this chicken noodle soup. But my husband, he's not crazy about fresh parsley. He likes the dried parsley. So I need to learn how to dry parsley. So if anyone can tell me how to do that, let me know. All these years of gardening, I should have taught myself how to do that. Just going to add the carrot and the scallions. And we have our soup. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to make myself some vegan soup. And I've never done this before. I try to cook food both my husband and I eat. And he does not care for vegan flavors as much as I do. So he has his chicken and noodle soup. Well, I'm going to make zucchini soup. I have this zucchini to use up. I would put it in the last 5 minutes because you don't want the zucchini to get soggy. I'm basing this on a recipe I found online. Chunky zucchini soup. It doesn't call for tomatoes, which really surprised me, but it calls for beans. I may add the beans at some point, but right now I'm not going to open up a can of beans for this. It's just a small amount of soup for myself, and I can flavor it any way I like. I've got to use this celery up. It's starting to go bad, and we'll just chop this up. Along with the onion and carrot. Just added the avocado oil to the soup pan, and I'm heating it up. And we added our trinity of celery, carrots, and onion. We're going to saute that for a while before we add the vegetable broth, the homemade vegetable broth. Let me tell you, it smells divine, but we're going to make it more divine with some garlic powder. Okay, now it's time to add the vegetable broth. Okay, I don't know if it needs salt yet, so I'm not going to add any salt. A little pepper, not much, because I know that I put pepper in that vegetable broth. I have basil, dried basil, just a little bit. The recipe called for it, but it didn't call for tomatoes. Usually I associate tomatoes with basil, but not necessarily. And a little thyme. Now I'm not following this recipe verbatim. I'm just basing it. It's an idea for me, okay? And I will refer the recipe to you. I'm just trying to explore more vegan recipes because I'm turning in that direction, but yet I'm a flexitarian. I do eat meat. Moderation's the key when it comes to meat, and for me. So I'm using kale in place of spinach. There we go. Ooh, this is looking good and healthy. There we go. Put a little zucchini in there. This is the last 5 minutes of cooking. I'm going to turn off the burner. We have fresh parsley from the garden. And this soup is done. I will taste it. If it needs something, I'll add to it. Let's go ahead and give this a taste test. This is extremely healthy. It's a little vinegary. I added apple cider vinegar to the vegetable broth when I made it. Maybe I added a little too much. This needs salt. The first thing I think of, yeah, it definitely needs salt. Just a little bit of salt. Let's try it. Oh yeah. The kale is a little chewy. If you have that problem, let me know, and how do you resolve that problem? Because that's the biggest reason my husband doesn't like kale that well, because it's chewy. He likes kale chips, and that's pretty much it. I will eat every bit of this soup, probably in 2 settings. So it's all about feeding your body food that is very healthy and trying to change your mindset or how you've been raised. If you've been raised consuming meat your whole life, well, you need to get away from it maybe. And for health reasons like I do, why not? Why not make your own personal soup with just a little bit of vegetable broth and vegetables and spices? If you would like to replace this with
the zucchini with potatoes, feel free to do so. I just have zucchini I need to eat up, and this is just a good way to eat it up. And know that I'm not getting very many calories. This is a perfect diet food. I can tell you that right now. I realize this is super healthy. I'm having soup and salad. It's kale and zucchini. I doctored it up with mozzarella cheese, tomato, and chopped onion. And this salad is vegetarian because this is a dairy product. The cheese is dairy. It's not non-dairy. That will be my salad, my vegetarian salad. Then I have my vegan soup. In the next video, we need to get more organized, and we're going to work towards that. This one was more about the fact that my husband and I have different tastes in food and how we can make that work. And when I cook for him, I can also cook for myself. I mean, there's more than one burner there, and it's not difficult to make 2 small pots of soup according to taste. I mean, it's just a matter of separating the ingredients and using what you like and what your husband or your spouse likes. So if you're cooking for a spouse that's a picky eater or doesn't like as many vegetables as you can do it separate. You don't always have to cook everything together and serve everything together. God bless each and every one of you. I'll see you on the next one.